Welcome back to the series on a game so dead, even the necromorphs subscribed. OG viewers and people watching archives of my channel 90,000 years in the future may recall this video I made on Dead Space chapters 1 through 4. Now, in a short, timely manner, I will give you the final chapters. In this video, we will be learning about religion, stomping asthmatics to death, and learning about a plot by the government to use a newly found technology as a weapon of mass destruction and mind control. Something that, thankfully, our government would never do. Without further ado, let's continue.
And now, our feature presentation.
The IRS is actually going to do me just like this guy when they find out about my several multi-million-dollar Swiss bank account. Kendra tells us someone other than her has been tampering with the systems for this death. After sliming out another poor soul who got caught by the IRS, we get to the zero-G therapy room where this man, Dr. Chalice Mercer, says that we might as well just give up and roll over and die because it's futile to fight against God's plan. Joke's on him because I don't even like Drake. He gets mad when we tell him we don't like Drake and sticks this immortal hunter necromorph on us, which we unload our entire ammo stash into before saying fuck it and bolting to the elevator. On the next level, we start mixing the poison, but Dr. Mercer is still tight about that Kendrick beef, even though it's already been a year and a half. He turns off the air, which is bad news because we're kinda using that. So we backtrack to the med deck security station to turn it back on, and then come back to the poison mixing station, going through a room with a hunter in it both times, and one more time once we actually get the poison. Mercer's still kinda pissed, but also a little impressed at us being alive, and as a treat he tells us his evil plan, which is to spread the necromorph infection to Earth so that everyone can be united under the hive mind, whatever that is. On the hydroponics deck, we find Hammond coughing and wheezing like he can't breathe or something. This entire floor has been infected with wheezers. They're like real people with asthma, except you can stomp them to death without any penalty. We Scooby-Doo our ass around the hydroponics deck, finding and cleansing the gene pool of all of the individuals who dared to be born with an inferior respiratory system. Finally, we get to the place where the pollution is the worst, a giant chamber where a huge necromorph called the Leviathan has been squatting. We shop the Leviathan in the South? Because squatters' rights are retarded, and enjoy the fresh air we are now free to breathe without it being filled with God knows what. While we're doing that, Kendra found an SOS beacon, which she plans to send and flag down a rescue ship. Clearly, she is not as committed to the success of this mission as we are, although she doesn't have a wife to rescue, so her lack of motivation is understandable. The first half of this chapter really disagreed with OBS for some reason, so I'll just put what happened there into a helpful little slideshow. I call this slideshow My Graphics Card No Work So Good. Kendra directs us to find and plant the SOS on an asteroid, which we can send into space for better reception. We finally find Nicole. We have to defend her while she types the codes into the storage room as slowly as humanly possible. We raid the storage room and slap together the beacon, get to mining deck C, and destroy the tethers keeping it in place. Even if the SOS is sent through, we can't respond to it because the array receiver is busted. Also, Hammond's been nowhere to be found for a minute, but that's not really as important. We get back to the bridge, trudge to the communications array, and I tried to stack these bottles, but it was too hard, which is why this game fucking sucks. After putting the square blocks in the square hole, we get a message from the USM Valor that confirms that they got our message, but they're also already receiving an escape pod, specifically pod 47, which is the same pod Hammond stuffed a necromorph into. Kendra informs us that if we open the blast doors, she might be able to get another signal out before they receive the pod, but the blast doors won't open because this big guy has lodged his fat ass directly in front of the antenna, and even after unloading hundreds of rounds of ammo directly into him, we aren't able to save the Valor, and it smashes directly into Isaac specifically. After waking up and seeing we're still in one piece, Hammond regains connection with us. He's been trying to contact us to abort the mission for a long while, but someone's been deliberately blocking his signals. He tells us that he's found a shuttle that lacks a singularity core, which the USM Valor definitely had before smacking into us. He instructs us to go see if we can salvage it because he paid a whole 15 bucks on Craigslist for us, and he's making sure he gets his money's worth. After we throw some radioactive radioactive balls into space, we get onto the USM Valor. The Necromorphs that got on the ship through Pod 47 got into the stasis charges, and now they move faster than we do, which is only slightly annoying. According to the captain's log, the crew on the Valor already knew of the marker, and they were actually sent with the original purpose of retrieving it by any means necessary. We get to the engine room, and we only get highly air-fried once or twice before finally being able to retrieve the Singularity Core. Hammond is fighting a brute, so we wait patiently for him to solo it. This really shouldn't even be a challenge for someone of Hammond's caliber. We avenge Hammond's death, make it out of the Valor before it explodes, and ride back to the crew deck in silence. Except Kendra doesn't actually give us a moment of silence because she immediately assaults my eardrums with some bad news. The shuttle Hammond found apparently had its nav codes spread around the ship, and after trekking through a room of dead bodies and watching Dr. Mercer stake a guy through the skull,
witness the conviction of a true believer!
I may have an idea of who might be responsible. A man named Dr. Kine picks up our signal. He expresses his needs to talk to us and tells us he has answers on what the Necromorphs are, where they come from, and how to put a stop to the invasion. We then spend an entire gigabyte of recording space trying to read these messages on the bathroom wall. We finally meet Dr. Kine in person, and he seems to be a deeply perturbed individual. Regardless, he gives us a huge lore dump.
You've made it! Oh, thank God you made it. I've been following your progress. I know you want to repair the executive shuttle and leave this place, but escape is impossible at this point. The shuttle shock point drive is destroyed. No. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. At first, I lost hope. I tried to scuttle the ship, sabotage the systems. But Amelia, she changed things. The church, they think the marker is divine, but they don't know what's happened here, what's been released. Look. Look at this. That is what we found in the core of the planet. Mercer calls it the hive mind. It's the source, controlling the Necromorphs telepathically. We were so stupid! But Amelia, she knew it could be stopped by returning the marker to the planet. The marker was containing it within the planet. Return the marker and seal the hive mind. Please. I'm sorry, Amelia. I bear much of the responsibility for this tragedy. Now, I must take responsibility for ending it. Atone for my sins. But you can help me. If you repair the shuttle and bring the marker back on board, we can end this forever.
We thank him for catching us up with the lore. In the executive sleep block, we find the captain's log.
Captain's log. Personal. I want to set the record straight. By the time this log is heard, my actions will have been vindicated. I'm a unitologist. By now, it's probably no secret that we shouldn't be in this star system. Just another illegal mining job for the company. That is until the colony found the marker. That was when the church took an interest and chose me to lead this pilgrimage. They also ensured many of the mission crew were devout. My primary instruction was to get the marker up from the colony and on board the ship. Dr. Kine, the CSO, is an expert on the original marker and was tasked with deciphering this new one. He says he's making good progress. My decision to quarantine the colony is sound. They've got some kind of epidemic down there, and I can't allow it to infect the ship. Not with such precious cargo. Not when we are so close. Planet Crack takes place tomorrow. We'll continue to decipher the marker, and when we return home, we'll pass all our findings and the marker to the church. The government isn't going to cover this one up. Altman be praised.
Now, Mr. Horse, I hear you asking, What in the Squidward tentacle fuck is bro even yapping about? Unitology. According to his log, the captain was a unitologist. In 2215, a man named Michael Altman found an alien relic on Earth, the original black marker. Unitologists believed that humanity's rise was due to the alien agency because God forbid a bunch of evolved monkeys build a stone pyramid by themselves. They believe that the black marker holds the secrets of evolution and the key to immortality. Although he wasn't alive to see it, they praise Altman as their holy figure, the one chosen by the marker and therefore by God, and that one day the black marker will grant upon humanity the ability to ascend and be reborn as a single entity. After Scooby-Dooing our ass around the crew deck again and finding all the nav chips, Dr. Kyne says he'll meet us at the shuttle and get it prepped for launch. The ops hate to see us winning, so they send Big Raja the op hunter after us, but we genuinely fry his ass. Dr. Kyne finally catches up and flies the shuttle down to the flight deck, which we follow. After being jump scared, we get to the cargo hold and find that the marker is basically just a giant bad dragon dildo. We move the space dildo into position and send it up to the flight deck, which the necromorphs don't seem to be very enthusiastic about, but we didn't really ask for their opinion. Kendra sees that it's time to go and decides she's gonna put on her Skechers and Usain Bolt her ass to the flight deck.
I'm heading up to the flight deck now. Oh god. I'm just gonna run for it. Wish me luck.
I hope that goes well for her. After loading the interstellar glizzy into the shuttle, we run back upstairs and reunite with the team, finally put an end to all this nonsense.
Wait, Amelia, where are you going?
Sorry, Isaac. I couldn't let him go through with it. I suppose I should thank you for finding the marker. We even managed without help from the USM Valor. Thank you for helping me find it, by the way. My department's been looking for this place for a long time. See what Kyne didn't know was? It was the government's mess to begin with. This whole planet is one big experiment. The marker? This divine relic? Made by man. They reverse engineered it a couple of hundred years ago from the real marker, a true alien artifact recovered on Earth. They dug it up, studied it, and they made it their own. Then they brought it to Aegis 7 and activated it. And you've seen the result. The stuff of nightmares. They sealed the system, and no one would have been the wiser. But then the CEC blunders in and starts tearing the planet apart. The experiment was still alive. Kyne was right about the hive mind. The marker would contain it, but that doesn't matter now, does it? I have the marker, and this entire system can go to hell. For what it's worth, you did a great job, Isaac. See you around. Or maybe not.
So, it would appear that we may have been, not that we have time to think about that right now, because Nicole calls for us back in the flight deck. We get rid of the necromorphs trapping her in the deck, and she tells us we can activate the emergency shuttle recall and force the ship to return. Kendra doesn't seem really enthusiastic about this.
Isaac, what the hell are you doing? You're making a big mistake.
But we didn't really ask for her opinion. She nopes the fuck out on an escape pod, which is understandable. I would have done the same thing. We now have the cosmic creamer back in our possession and fly down to the colony to return it to where it belongs. On the surface, as expected, all of the crew members are dead. Brutes and other necromorphs try to stand in our way, but after a short detour to reroute power to the final doors, we finally return the dimensional Dih to its rightful place, sealing the necromorphs away permanently.
You really didn't think I was just gonna walk away, did you? I can't do that. Marker's coming with me. It's a shame. I was starting to like you. Even if you are insane. What, you don't believe me? Take a look at yourself. Better yet, take a look at the video from Nicole. And this time, watch it right to the end. Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I wish I could just talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. It's strange. Such a little thing. And it all comes down to this one little thing. I didn't want it to end like this. I really wanted to see you again. Just once. I loved you. I always loved you.
The news that we're low-key schizophrenic and our fine shit was in our head the entire time hits us like a brick. With nothing more to do, we need to leave the planet before the hive mind wakes. But it's already been awake, as Kendra finds out when she gets ripped apart by giant tentacles.
Oh my god!
In order to not meet the same fate, we need to whip out a giant can of whoop ass and spoon feed it to the monster, just like my auntie did to me once when I was 7 for having my feet on the couch. This game was a very good horror experience. That's still a good deal. The thing that bottlenecked my progress with this video was the performance of the game, because I had to record and play it on the same CPU, and the performance of Adobe Premiere, which was running the preview at a higher frame rate than the actual application. So every time I got the motivation to edit, I was fighting the computer tooth and nail to actually get anything done. Also, a lot of this was recorded before I turned VSync off. VSync basically eliminates screen tearing and glitching in the display in exchange for adding 3 to 5 business days of lag. I forgot about the fact that you can just ignore VSync if it's in windowed mode, so my dogshit aim can be chalked up to that, on top of the weird dead zone that this application adds to your controller, and lack of decent controller support despite this entire game being a PC to console port. That's really all I have to say about this game. The next longer video I do like this will definitely not take as long as this one did. If you'd like to support the channel via helping me buy a PC that can actually run Adobe Premiere, I have a Patreon and channel memberships in the description. Join the Discord, follow the Insta, TikTok, Twitter, and yeah. Goodbye, sweetie. I love you. Mwah.
I say